Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Anti-Stall Racing first Mercedes W12 race here at Silverstone. Very excited to present this race today, as it is very, very new to iRacing. Got a fantastic grid. We're running two splits at the minute, so we'll be watching split one today with some incredibly fast guys in there. Joining me in the box today is Edward and also Ule. How are you both today?
Stressed.
Doing very good. Yeah.
I mean,
Excited for this race.
I just know it's going to be mad because we have 19 drivers competing for a win with these incredibly fast cars. I just know it's going to be carnage, and also the car is incredibly new to everyone that plays this game. And wow, we are here for a treat. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely, and I've done a few laps of this car on this track myself, and it is insane. It's the fastest thing in iRacing at the moment. It's an absolute joy to drive. I think it's going to give some amazing racing. So, qualifying just started, and we're doing a open qualifying, so everybody will be on track at the same time, which is going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, we've seen the same kind of qualifying style in some of the other series that we have, GT3, just to mention one of them, and it works out really well, I would say. Of course, not ideal to be swerving when you have DRS open, but you need to be lucky sometimes to get the slipstream at the right moments if you want to get pole position. But of course, in such new cars as this W12, it's important that you get a feel for the car as well.
Yeah, and also on this track, it's incredibly fast, it's incredibly twisty. We've seen how mad the real Formula 1 race is, and these cars, especially on the iRacing, it's super close to the reality, and I'm just sure that we will have a crazy race in iRacing 2 on this track. Because it's one of those tracks, the Silverstone one, that really appeals for good racing and overtakes and all sorts of carnage. So, yeah, it's very hard. Qualifying position is not vital, but it's very important to start in the front so you will not get caught up in any incidents at the start.
And we did already see an incident on track a moment ago, which Regret in the chat pointed out. Who would have thought weaving with DRS open was a bad idea?
You would not be one to know, of course. One of our Formula V drivers, a very successful one as well, I would say. Not a car that's known for its downforce capabilities, so a completely different machinery we are dealing with here. It's more similar to the RSS series that we're running with the Formula Supreme, but of course, this being Formula 1 cars, it's night and day difference, isn't it?
So it does appear that we've got a crash expert in the chat right here with Regret. So self-titled crashing expert. Hopefully he'll let us know how all his crashes go today as well. Then I just want to say thank you to all our recent followers as well. Just noticed Mbutramid and also J Cole have followed us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was just looking, Ule, you were talking about the drivers from the other leagues that we are running at Anti-Stall Racing, and there are some drivers like Joe Taberner, who was incredible with the Formula Vs, also Kevin Stam, the two drivers that are battling for the championship in the other league that we are running, and I'm just trying to be in their position. They are coming from racing Formula Vs to racing Formula 1 cars, and it's such an incredible difference, and I'm just looking forward to see how will they be able to get on with these new cars, comparing the speed between those two.
Yeah, we talked a bit about it yesterday, didn't we, with the change from Formula V to the radicals, where you go from a car with literally no horsepower and no downforce as well to something like the radical with a lot of downforce and not as much horsepower as Formula 1, of course not, but it's still a rapid car, so it's a major difference between those two cars. And then we have something like this Formula 1, the pinnacle of motorsport, I think it's safe to say. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those drivers are going to cope with these cars.
So we do have our first times coming through now. We have our top 9 with Elias Sauer in the top with a 1:23.0. I can't quite read that here.
It's
Anybody?
25, I think.
25.0.
And it's Luke half a tenth behind Elias. We had a pre-qualifying session for this one, if I'm not mistaken too much. It was Luca that went fastest with a 1:26, so we're already beating those times. It's going to be very interesting to see who finds pace and who has done the most practice.
Yeah, I just think we will get the fastest times at the end of qualifying because we will see these drivers slowly improving and getting the grip as time passes by. And I do think that we will have a last minute change in the standings for this qualifying. This is my opinion, but we might see Elias Sauer taking the pole position from now. Who knows? It's incredible because we have no idea what is going to happen. This car is pretty new to the game. It's pretty new to us. Personally, I haven't done any laps with this car, but I'm really looking forward to play this game and do some laps with the car because it just looks like it's an amazing car to drive. I was also looking at some YouTube videos with the car, and you can see the effort that the iRacing crew has put into this car because you can just see the suspension and all of those things just like in real life, and it's just an incredible car to look at it and also to drive it.
Yeah, it really makes you think how far sim racing has come in the recent years that you get to have something like this Mercedes. It's a monster, isn't it? Monster on 4 wheels, and it's so detailed with the suspension, as you mentioned, and different tire compounds. I think it's astonishing to see that move being made in sim racing.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Spec 10 there for the follow. Thank you very much, and thank you for your chat, as you are a first-time chatter with us.
Someone said in the chat, except with crap liveries. Yeah, I was just reading today that you can't change the liveries of these cars in iRacing. I see that some drivers have changed their liveries, but yeah, it's a shame because it would be amazing to see some liveries on these cars. But we were just talking before coming live that just imagine someone putting a Red Bull livery on this Mercedes car. Like, that would be extremely funny from my point of view.
It really would be.
Warning
but it's a
for
shame that
Nicolas.
drivers don't
All
get
the
to express
contacts
themselves
follow.
in the
Don't
way that
wave on the
Hold on,
straight.
guys,
you
hold
get
on.
to have
Someone
their own
radio
will
messages.
stop behind you.
I think we had a warning there for someone. We did just miss it though. Let's try and find out what it was.
Yep. Looking at the standings, Elias Sauer is still in first place, Luca Wunsch is second, and Alessandro Izzo is in third place right now. Only 2 tenths between the first three drivers, and it's just looking very close there at the top.
it really is. It's very close in general, I would say. So, of course, South 3 being half a second in front of P4, but looking down, it's not a significant gap. that we
Reminder
have
to
between
stay
all
off
of
the racing
drivers.
line
It's a
when
couple
someone
of
is going.
tenths jump between
lap behind you.
different drivers, but we're only 8 minutes into this qualifying session, so hopefully we're going to see people improve quite a lot over the next 12 minutes.
Okay, so we just heard on the radio as well. Race control reminding drivers to remain on the racing line. So we had a couple of drivers go off a little bit.
Yeah, looking at the timetable, we don't see many drivers improving right now. Most of the sectors are actually yellow right now. And I'm just wondering if they are trying to change their setup or to think about the race, or were the first laps so fast that they just cannot improve it.
They should be able to change tires, so I think they might just be pushing a bit too hard and trying out different stuff in the qualifying session. There's still a lot of time left, so certainly time for them to try and around with different things. As we'll be following here, is this nice?
This is Tom's
Nice.
Spears.
Yeah, with the medium tires, I see. that's definitely something he's trying out. See if he can get a good bank lap in with those medium tires and perhaps save the soft for later.
Yeah, but we've seen also in real life, if I'm not wrong, on this track at the 70th anniversary race, if I'm not wrong. Oh, that was so close. When Max Verstappen won, if I'm not wrong, the Mercedes have got pole position with a medium, so they might think about these drivers. I don't know, I'm not really sure. But I also remember that in Portimao in 2020, also Mercedes got pole position with a medium. So who knows? Maybe they are trying different strategies to see what's faster, and Tom Zweers just got faster with these medium tires. So maybe this different strategy might work.
It just might be the tires that the drivers set the fastest lap on is the one that they're starting the race on. So there's definitely some strategy to be played around with in that regard. And I think that's what we see Tom going for, instead of someone like Elias going out on the soft tires and getting a fast lap in that way.
Yeah, and
So many factors to be played around with.
yeah, and his qualifying just makes me think, will we see the race decided on strategy? Will we see the race decided by on-track battling? Will we see the race decided by incidents? There are so many variables to take into consideration, and it's just so close. All the drivers are, as we talked before, new to these cars, and it's just going to be such a mad race, I'm sure of it. So stick with us, because I'm sure we will have extremely good racing after this qualifying. Only 10 minutes remaining. Still the same top three, Zauer, Wunsch, and Izo. Not many changes there, but we're seeing that the top three drivers were on the outlaps, so they might just improve here.
Yeah, Billy Feach improving his lap by about a tenth. So certainly getting up then, trying to battle for the top three position for the start. Just to mention the tires again, there is one mandatory stop in this race where you need to change to a different compound. So there's definitely some strategy to be played around with in that regard. I think we may see some of the soft runners go in for mediums, perhaps a couple laps into the race. It's only a 29 lap race. I'd say only, as that is so cut a lot on a track like Silverstone.
Okay, just got confirmation from the stewards that a warning has been issued to car number 25 of Nicholas Weatherby for contact with another car.
Yeah, and I just think we will have all sorts of warnings and penalties in this race, because, as we've said, everyone is new to these cars, to this track, no, but with this speed, I don't think many drivers got up to speed. And also, it's a big difference between this game and Formula 1. I'm a pretty much... Oh, when that's spin. I've played a lot of the Formula 1 games, and they don't feel at all as this seems like Assetto Corsa or iRacing. And yeah, I'm just sure that this lack of experience will create a lot of incidents.
Yeah, it's like no other car, these Formula 1 cars. I think the closest one perhaps would be the LMP1 cars, in the regard that you have the electric power unit that you need to manage throughout the race. And I think that's going to be something some of these drivers are going to be caught out on. I would assume some of these are used to GT3s and other cars where it's just
69.
Use the throttle,
Beating the lap
turn
of
your
94.
wheel and go in for a
Careful.
pit stop sometimes.
Moving back to the racing
You don't
line.
have
Thank
to
you.
think about anything other than that, really. Of course, the racing, but so many factors in these cars. Drivers are still not improving on their own laps, with just about 6 minutes remaining. So I think it's about time that we see drivers improving, and we may see a change in the lead.
Are they waiting for the last minutes, or they just cannot go faster? That's what the question is right now. because Elias Sauer has set his time in the first run, and since then he has done some laps and he haven't improved. So it really makes you think what is going on the track, because we're seeing most of the sectors are yellow, so no one is improving at the moment. Maybe, like in real life, they are waiting for the last minute to improve their times.
Get a question in the Twitch chat if the track condition have changed, if temperature perhaps would have raised, and I'm not too sure. I don't have any
quickly take a look at
information
that.
on that one.
Luka Wunsch is going in first place now.
21 degrees, so it's not a particularly hot track. 36, I see. Another look at the temperature. Yeah, I don't remember what it was to begin with, but it's not like the temperature changes dramatically within 20 minutes, so I wouldn't assume that's the major problem for these drivers. As Tom Swears is actually going faster in 3 of his sectors, and that's the 4th one. And is he going to be improving?
Yep, P7
Yeah,
now for
slightly.
him.
He goes into the South 26s.
Also, just want to say a big hello
Goes up
to
to P7.
Being X Raoul, first time chatter here, saying that his friend is on pole right there.
Not anymore, I think, because Luka Wunsch just set the fastest lap and he's now in first place. Elias Sauer is at the pit lane right now. I think he's preparing his last run in his conquest to recover that first place and that pole position. Is really the pole position that important on this track? Because we are seeing a lot of racing on this track, more on the Formula 1 game rather than on the iRacing with these cars, but also in real life. First place is not incredible because you can be overtaken on the run up to corner number 6 to Brooklands and also to Cops, and it's just hard. It's hard to keep your first place. So I'm wondering if some drivers will think about starting second in order to get the slipstream. Can they think about this strategy? I'm not so sure, but who knows?
Of course, it may be something that goes through the head, but I think at the first race of the season, it's not something that they're going to be playing around with too much. I think getting that pole position is vital for them. Just hoping for the best possible start for themselves. I think a lot of drivers may struggle with the start of these cars as they are so powerful. There's nothing that really prepares you for the race start of a Formula 1 car. So, yeah, I think P1 is a bit more critical to get than we may think that it is. But of course, P2 certainly not a bad position to be in either, and a lot of slipstream to be had down towards clubs and down the hanger straight if you manage to hang on with your opponents.
It's down to the final 2 minutes of qualifying now.
Yes, this is going to be crucial for Elias. He's on his outlap, so I don't think he's going to be able to get another one in. So this is going to be it for Elias Strömer. Or Sauer. I'm sorry, it's not Elias Strömer.
I mean, Stromer
not
still
going
hasn't actually
fastest
set a
enough.
lap as well, so
It's not going faster in the first 4 sectors.
Stefano Bettega, purple in the first sector.
Yeah, but 3 yellows after that one. Is that good enough for more than P9? We'll have to see about that one.
Also, Adrian Vigil has set 4 green sectors. Let's see if he's improving. 27, 28. Where is he? P22. Sadly, not too close to the other drivers. Elias Stromer goes up in P14. Joe Taberner haven't improved, and we're watching a big crash there for someone who just ended their qualifying, and he towed back to the pit lane. So, only yellow sector now for every single driver that we're watching.
Yeah, it's not what we would have thought. It's Elias Sauer with an early fastest lap that has proven to be enough for for P2 as he's actually out on his final lap now.
Let's
This
see,
is
he
gonna
was
be it.
green. Elias Sauer was green on the first sector. We are not seeing him right now, but he was green in the first sector. Luka Wunsch did not improve. I think he's preparing his last lap because he had a 1 minute slower last sector. So I think he was just searching for a place in the pack. Elias Sauer, 2 yellow sectors after
And
that green
Alessandro
one.
going out of sin on his final lap now. It seems 2 minutes 44. That certainly looks like an outlap for him.
I think we are watching Carlos Cotao, who is now still
Up into
P11.
P11.
He did not improve his lap, sadly.
And Elias Stromer coming across the line soon.
Stefano Bettega again purple, now in sector 2. So on the last lap he was fastest on sector 1, now he's in sector 2, so he's clearly having the pace. Let's see how he will finish the lap. Doesn't look like too good. 1.50 seconds. What happened to him? I think he has done a mistake. That's the only explanation. So I don't think there is anyone right now on a good lap. Class de Boer just goes up into P11. But Luka Wunsch, purple, third sector. Let's see. Can he improve his lap even more? Can he create a bigger gap between the first two drivers? Let's see. I don't think we're watching him right now.
Yeah,
No,
we
he
are.
crosses
We
the line
do-
and doesn't manage to improve his own lap.
Let's
Fortunately,
see.
it seems to be enough.
No. He keeps pole position. He
Alessandro
doesn't
pulls
improve the time.
something out of the hat in the final 2 sectors. Let's see, he's green in the middle one. Not too far away from Luka Wunsch, but depends on how much he's lost in sector 1, 2, and 4. There's only one left to go. Still have 5 seconds to finish his lap. It's going to be a tight one.
Alessandro
It's not
Ismo.
going to be improving his own lap,
No.
unfortunately. So unless some of the backmarkers find something
Let's check on
credible.
Nicolas. Nicolas Vetterby. 4 green sectors, but not so close to the leaders. And I think this is it.
Yep, this is it. This is the end of quali now. I just want to say a massive thank you to Being X Raoul for the follow 4 minutes ago. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody else who's followed so far as well. If you want to join our races, just drop into the Discord. The link is in our bio. Well, this is going to be
So
interesting.
in a moment, we're going to be having our standings for the start of this race.
Yep, we have 5 seconds until they pop through to me to put online.
Yeah, so just to get a run through of the race we're about to witness, it is a 29 lap race, so half race distance of F1 with one mandatory pit strategy. We have Luka Wunsch on pole position, Elias Sauer second, Sandro Isi third, and Benny Feech fourth, managing to improve quite a lot on his P4. Then it is Costa P5, Kevin Stam sixth, Iguia 7th, Suez 8th, Tiga 9th, Joe Tapman 10th, De Boer 11th, and Kotao 12th. And Joe Tapman, we saw him in our rookie series. So it's interesting to see him a second behind P1. Is that because he's going on the medium tires and going for the long run? We'll have to see. I can't see that on my standings here, fortunately. Another thing to point out, Luka Wunsch, number 44.
I think we should keep an eye also on Stefano Bettega, who was really fast in the sectors. He haven't managed to put a good lap from start to finish, but we are sure that he has the pace because he was purple in almost every sector. Just he couldn't manage to get one lap right. But let's see, we're very close to the start right now. We're just waiting for every driver to confirm and to come to the grid. And here we are. I think we're missing someone from P5. That's Matteo Giorgia. He's here. So we will be going for 5 red lights as soon as possible.
I think we're still waiting for... Yeah, still waiting for a couple more drivers.
I think we are waiting for Carlos Catao, who has some fans on the chat. I was just reading that Corey Whiting was cheering for Carlos Catao, but now he's missing from the grid. I think he's here. Yes, he's here. So now everyone is on the grid. And we will be going for the 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And away we go. It's a good start from Luca Wunsch. Alessandro Izzo is already up one position. That's Ilya Zauer getting a horrible start. He's down in P7. But Wunsch first, Izzo second. Benefici is up into third place. Let's see, no incidents at the start. There is someone going on the grass, but still keeps it out of the barriers. So, let's see, we're watching now Joe Taberner down in P9.
Great start from Izzo up into second place. Not a wonderful start from Kevin Sauer. I guess we could say that he's now into P17. So actually a horrible start for Ilya Sauer as she retires.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
Yeah, and we have yellow flags, and that's going to be a safety car.
There was a big crash at the back there. I'm just going to go to a replay of this to see what happened.
Oh,
So that
no
was
front wing.
Elias Sauer there at the back.
That,
I'm not sure. That
explains.
didn't cause the yellow, so I'm going to just flick through to the next issues that we had.
Let's see, we see there, I don't know if it was Elias Zauer there, but he was going off the track. Let's see. This is between Johan Roussel.
There it is.
Oh, 3, 4, 5 cars.
Yeah, the mistake from one car ending up in a big pile of four other cars. Unfortunately, just a small mistake.
But I wonder what happened to Elias Zauer, because he started second, he got a very bad start, and he then lost his front wing. I don't know what happened to him. And I was just reading the chat, he has some supporters here, so it's sad to see that he is now without the front wing and he's still in the pit lane. 70 seconds pit stop, that's sad to see.
Yeah, he showed great pace in the qualifying session, so it's a shame to see our P2 driver already out of this race. But luckily we still have Benefici and Izzo that perhaps could prove to be some competition for Luca Wunsch.
It's like they're currently
She's going
waiting for the pace
pretty
car.
slow.
Yeah, waiting for the pace car
Yeah,
to pass
waiting
them.
for the pace car to catch up.
Yep,
And I wish we had the driver's radio. Perhaps we could hear them complain about the speed of the safety car now. That it's a GT3. Am I right? Or is it GT4 Cayman?
Yeah, it's the Porsche 911 GT3.
That's it's not the fastest car in the world.
Yeah, but it's a very, very beautiful car.
Very good looking
Never
car.
having seen this car. Luca Wunsch, if I'm not wrong, he has
Please,
the
everyone,
number
remember to
44
be
on
careful.
his car, and I think he will be complaining about the safety car behind his steering wheel there.
That was a message from race control. I apologise. To all drivers, just a reminder to be
We are
careful on
reviewing
track.
incident from
And-
turn 1.
They are reviewing all their incidents from turn 1, so they could be there for a little bit.
So, behind the safety car, Luca Wunsch, first place, Alessandro Izzo in second place, Benefici in third place, Eguia fourth, and Matthew Drozda is in fifth place. Hope I have not mispronounced his name. But some incidents that happened at the start, not honestly as much as I thought there were going to be, but the majority of the drivers got up and they are still in race. I don't think we have any retirements.
Doesn't appear that way.
Some of the drivers being a lap down. I think that's due to them turning back to the pits and having to catch up to the drivers that managed to get out of the carnage. So I think that's all down to that. But these drivers have 2 quick repairs, if I'm not mistaken. So not much time lost in the pits, luckily. Of course, you can't just go out crashing every single lap. As it's Elias Sauer still in the pits. I'm wondering why he's not
retired.
coming out as
He's retired.
he's retired. Oh, that's a
Elias
shame.
Sauer has retired after starting in second place. He has been first in the qualifying for such a long time, and now he's out of the race. That's a real shame. And also we have a retirement for Johan Russell and Silvio Lazar, which is sad to see.
Okay, we just had some
still,
notes from the stewards. Brody Maynard has got a 5-second stop-and-go penalty. Not sure what it was.
It's a harsh one in start of the race.
Yeah.
Harsh
That's
one.
what-
Not sure what it's for. Hopefully we'll get some more information on that at some point. See lots of drivers diving for the pit there.
This might be a decisive moment. If someone goes for the hards, they might just go to the end with these tires. So we might see some interesting strategies here. But are the hards going to last till the end of the race? What do you think?
It's 26 laps on the hard tires. I think it's doable.
Absolutely, I think
If
it is
it's
doable.
comparable to the tires in real life, I think we saw Lewis Hamilton go for 45 laps on back in Abu Dhabi. That was, of course, we saw a big drop in pace towards the end of the race compared to fresh soft tires, but they were still keeping up and proved to have great pace and great durability. So certainly a tactic that we can see some of these soft compound
It's 2 laps to green. It might be a good
go
idea
out onto.
to remove 1 lap and or wait
Yeah,
5 the
I
rest.
think it's interesting. But if you are Luca Wunsch or Alessandro Iso at the front of the
Okay,
pack, I
maybe
don't
wait
think
5
you
whoever.
want to pit now, go back
lap
to the
behind?
grid, and lose all that time just for a free pit stop. I
We're
don't
currently
think
working
it's
on
a good
waiting
idea
time.
because the incidents that are going to happen in the pack,
Be sure to
I
announce
think, are
it so the
going to
rest
be
of them
massive.
know
And
if someone gets wait 5 so we
I'm
can move right there.
99% sure that we will have another safety car till the end of the race. So
Yeah, we're gonna get Alexis to call it.
it's hard to make a call, but we will see some different strategies, and I'm sure that the strategy will play a very important role in deciding this race. And we're seeing Luca Wunsch overtaking the safety
there
car.
will be
Talking about
cars
him
being
complaining
about
rotated by
safety car
if
earlier.
you're on
Once
the if you're on lap, stick to the left hand side and let the lap cars by. Lap cars pass on the right hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, we're just getting radio messages through on stream.
sorry.
Obviously, I know you guys can't hear this. But they are doing a wave-by of lapped cars.
And I think that's the only right call to do at the beginning of the race. It would be a shame for
Remember, the safety
people
car isn't
to
real.
be
You
a
can
lap
drive through
down
it.
already. Lots of things out of their own control.
the only-
Yeah, you mentioned Lucas Wunsch not pitting for any other tires. I don't think he wants to be part of the the 18 drivers
Make sure you
he's
catch the
looking
pack.
at when he looks at his rearview mirror.
The drivers that have overtaken the safety car and that have unlapped themselves, I was seeing that 2 of them have the hard tires and 1 of them was using the medium compound tire. So I think it's obviously going to be different strategies,
Brody
but
Maynard,
one of them,
Fabio
the one on with the mediums,
Fabioli,
will do
Johan
1 more pit stop.
Roussel,
And I'm just
Elias
curious
Bauer,
what's
Silvio
going to be
Lazar.
the
Unlap
gap
yourself
difference between the
if you
mediums
haven't
and
unlapped
hards.
yourself.
Because if it's as big as it was thought before the race, I think we might see some drivers not touching the hard tires in this race.
Yeah, and they may just be going from
Car
the soft
number
compound onto
16,
the medium. Is
unlap
that what you're
yourself.
thinking?
Yeah, I was just reading the chat, and we are having a little bit of a beef between the fan bases.
Just ignore it. It'll
on
reset itself.
Elias
Just go.
Stromer fan base, and
If you've been
I don't know
manually
who
waved
he's
around, just
supporting.
go.
But every time someone is mentioning Elias Stromer, the other guy is saying "yikes," and
Yeah,
it's
Elias Sauer, right?
Yep, Elias Sauer or Elias Stromer. We are having 2 Elias.
Yeah, it's not easy when we have 2 drivers with identical names. Almost
Someone-
identical.
Someone said if you nurse the front left medium is doable. Yes, it is doable, but I do think that you cannot go till the end with these tires. I think we might see some punctures. We've also seen in real life in 2017 and also in the 2020 race, there was in real life madness with the punctures, so we might see drivers just going cautious. It's the first race of the season. I don't think that anyone wants to risk their race like this. But we have the information. Safety car will be in this lap, so we will be going green again at the end of this lap.
Yeah, it's a brand new car, so I don't know how much practice and practice they have with nursing cars, car tires. Sorry. You need quite a lot of experience to be able to predict something like that and pull it off in a race with competition behind pushing you and it being in the mirror set all the times. So why the double yellow? Are we being asked? That's still due to the incident we happened
Double
that
yellow,
one, fortunately, and then we have a lot of people unlapping themselves, just costing a lot of
I can hopefully get you a
time, yeah.
replay of this double yellow if I've got time.
Fabiola, I do think he unlapped himself. And now he's going again because he's up in first place. It's a little bit of confusion on track. I don't really understand what's happening. But Fabiola is just going. He in the lap with the leader and he overtook the safety car. What's happening?
So a lot of drivers did get a wave by. I think he may have been a bit late to notice. They
Now Fabiola retired.
He's now out.
Did he got disqualified?
That's an interesting one. It's certainly an interesting tactic to jump the safety car. Don't think that's one the stewards are gonna be too happy about.
Also, I'm reading the chat, and Elias Sauer apparently is not out of the race, and he is driving.
Yeah, it's just so understanding that he is a P20.
So it's a
Number
lot of
4,
confusion
please
right
go
now.
back to the end of
But
line.
when the safety car will come in, I know that things will just get sorted out.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna see some racing soon. I think these drivers are tired of
Number 4,
pacing
Fabio,
around behind the
please
safety
go
car.
back to the end of line.
So we're getting messages from the stewards now encouraging driver number 4, who is Fabio, who's the guy that we saw overtake, to return to the end of the safety car line.
So he is still in the race.
From what it looks like, very much maybe. Although he has
Bit of
gone,
luck up in the background there.
he has gone grey on my telemetry, which suggests he has got out the car. Find out. So I
Yep.
think the safety car is about to go in, as these guys are rather drastically warming their tyres up.
Anyways, Luca Wunsch is in first place. He will set the pace now. Will he shoot it from now, or will he wait till the start-finish line? Let's see. He's still going slowly. He's making everyone go as slow as him. Let's see when will he shoot it and go. It's looking like now. Luca Wunsch. Oh, he's spin. He's round.
Oh, he tried
What a
so hard, but
mistake!
he didn't make it.
And spins before the straight, before the lap is.
Oh, that's
even
another
started.
spin.
Another one's gone.
That was Tom Zwiers going round, and now Alessandro Izzo is leading the race. Mateusz Jorda. Oh, and there's another spin. What's going on?
Into turn one,
It was Walsh,
plenty
as
of people
two
going
people
Get his
are off
thumb.
in the gravel, and Luka Wunsch up into P6 again.
Everyone needs to remember that these tyres will be cold. These tyres are not warm enough to be pulling these ridiculous tricks on an opening lap after a
Yeah,
safety
5
car.
laps of safety car. That's not something that the tires are going to be too happy about. Luka Wunsch up at the rear of Deboa. I think he's going to be looking for an overtake here very soon. As it looks like Fabio is still leading. That can't be right.
Someone said in the chat, try spinning, that's a good trick. That's not an extremely good trick when you are restarting the race, as we've seen at Luka Wunsch, but he looks like he's back up to pace, and there's the crash!
Oh,
There's a crash at Cops! That's
huge
Roddy!
crash
Looks
there.
like it's
I
crucial.
think that's a safety car. Not,
We'll
it doesn't
find
look
out.
like the safety car is coming out, but that was a huge crash there.
We're going to see if we can get that on a replay.
That was the leader. That was Alexandro Iso, that was the leader, because Stefano Bettega
Got a
is now
replay
leading
here
the
for you
race.
guys.
Yes, that was the leader. Alessandro
We're
Iso from first
investigating,
place
and
has just lost it a cops. Oh my lord. And there was another one in the back.
Another one going off.
Three
And
cars
the
there.
third one. Yeah, okay, it's a
So Stefano
horrible
Bettega is
corner
leading the
for
race.
tires.
Luca Wunsch back in second place. Carlos Catao is now in third place, I think, because Fabio La is back in the lead. What's happening with Fabio? Oh,
What
there
a
was an
mad
incident.
restart we are
Oh, that was
witnessing.
very close.
Lucas spinning and before we even get going on the first restart again, and now he's up battling for P1 again.
Luca Wunsch very close, but we should be watching at Carlos Cotao because he's going very close with Klaas de Boer. Klaas de Boer just got the position. Lucas de Boer is now on the podium place, but let's see, they are still going side by side. Beautiful battle there through Woodcote, through Laffield. We are now going through Woodcote, and let's see, will anyone try something through the cops? We've seen it's a very hard corner to manage. No heroics there. And De Boer keeps the position. Cotao in fourth place. Now Baggets, and Chappell going through the hangar straight. Will there be any change? No. Carlos Cotao just lost a little bit of time and a little bit of camera shake for a good measure. But let's see, the strip shim is very high, and that's a change in lead. No, Bettega just keeps the position. But he will try to send one on his side. The dive bomb of dreams. And he just got the place. Luca Wunsch back in the lead. And he already has a half a second advantage to Stefano Bettega. The dirtier, I know, plays a very, very important role in this race. And let's see, through the first corner.
Pitao going for a move and makes it on into turn 1, I guess. Gets a nice exit out of turn 2 as well. And this is Dupont now being invited into this battle for P3.
Cotao still on the podium place. We're now watching Kevin Stam, who is in P12 there. He lost a lot of time. I think he spinned there at the restart. I'm not so sure, but he was losing a lot of time after the restart. P12, should we rather say P11 because Fabiola is not in the race right now.
Yeah, and I think the lack of experience with these cars really showed on our restart here. A lot of people not anticipating how
We should be watching the first two drivers because it's 1/10 between them. Very close battling for the win. Stefano Bettega just doesn't give up. He's very close, and we are seeing him in that mini picture. He's driving a Mercedes car, but he has a Red Bull suit.
And Kevin did just get that place in the back while we're watching these guys.
I love the battle between these two drivers here. Luca Wunsch really showing why he was got pole position in our qualifying session. As Stefano Bettega that didn't start in the top 3 is managing to keep up well.
Yeah, but it's very hard to build an advantage on this track because we have 3 long straights and it's a very twisty and fast track, so it's very hard to actually make an advantage and just go for the win. This is what we are also seeing now. Luca Wunsch is clearly having the pace to go for this win, but Stefano Bettega is just keeping there in the DRS zone, and he's keeping very close to the lead of the race.
Yeah, the DRS really helping our Italian driver to keep up with Luca Wunsch, but it seems like Luca is able to pull a bit of a gap to Bettega, so it's going to be interesting to see through cups that we're coming up to now in Magnussen Beckett, see if he can get those 3/10 extra that he needs to get Bettega out of the DRS zone.
We will now be going through Hangar Straight. Luca Wunsch is waving on a straight line. He waved so much that he gone onto the grass. Let's see, Stefano Bettega is close, but not close enough to try and move. He now can try to send one into Stowe. No, he's too far behind to think about a move. And Wunsch just gives the first place for now.
Yeah, showing how strong the DRS zone is at in these cars at this track. As Stefano gets the purple lap, only 200 slower than Luca Wunsch. So
there's a
not hold
spin.
up as
That was
spin on the back
Elias
there.
Sauer.
That's
there.
Elias
Going for a
Sauer.
replay to see what happened.
Looked like he might just got a bit too heavy on the throttle out of the final corner. Let's see again. Yeah, just losing it on the exit of the final corner. Unfortunate for our German driver starting in P2.
Yep, every time.
I'd love to see him get back up as Kushi, our leader from earlier, goes for a move and he's up into P7.
Every time Elias
move.
Sauer has been mentioned in the chat, he spinned or crashed. So that's not the commentator's curse. That's more
That's
of
the
the
chat
viewer's
curse.
curse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody want to redeem a no cursing? That'd be probably a good time to do it.
Can we do the opposite? Let's not mention anybody and everybody will survive for the rest of the race. That would be lovely. Especially when we are watching it
Carlos
and
Cotao.
talking about the gap that we had
Let's
earlier
change on the
between
podium.
the two leading drivers. It's now up to 2 seconds.
Carlos Cotao got up to the podium place. Oh, there's a crash!
The stewards are
And
going
that's
to
a
want to
punt
look
from
at that one.
DeBoer.
That was a big one. DeBoer just rear-ended his opponent.
Yeah, luckily for Qatar, he ends up in the pit lane, so he can drive in and change to new tires. I think that's about time for him. 19 laps left of this race, but Klaus DeBoer loses a lot of position. He's now down into 5th. 6 as
What a stand there.
Yeah, luck of from our Polish driver Kosia trying to defend his P6 as
Oh, and
DeBoer
another
now goes.
incident. Oh, this race is going from bad to worse for Klaus
This is mad
DeBoer.
racing we are witnessing right now.
Oh,
Oh, that was very close. He needs to
Very
move up
close.
that line.
Punt on DeBoer is it's not the race that he wanted, but he got a taste of his own medicine, I guess we could say.
and Alex Eguia now is very close to the podium place because the gap between 3rd and 4th place are only 3 tenths right now. We should be watching there, 2 tenths. Very close. Alex Eguia is just on the tail of the French driver and going there to the hangar straight. He, I'm sure, will think about gaining the podium place.
Yeah, and I think Aguirre is gonna go for an easy move with DRS here. Not closing the gap well enough. I was about to say as he goes for a night late move on Dupont, but Dupont's still in this race, still in this battle for P3. So let's see what he's able to the Petit into the pit,
Hold up, guys, hold up.
and he's going to be changing the tires now.
Stewards message.
Correction, turn 16, 1-6.
We just had some sort of announcement about turn 16. I'm not sure exactly what it was, because I didn't quite catch the whole lot of it. But I guess we'll find that out shortly.
And let's see Stefano Bettega. He is now down into 11th place, so let's see if his undercut is going to work on Lucas Wunsch. He had a 3-second gap when he pitted, and that is Elias Römer going for a move on Schloggel. Lovely move from our German driver, winner of the Radical race yesterday.
I'm very curious.
Really proving that these light cars with a lot of power is certainly suiting his driving style.
I'm very curious what tires is Bettega on. Is he now on the mediums or is he on the hards? What strategy did he decide to take? And also, that might be an undercut to Luca Wunsch, but he's now in traffic. We're seeing only 2 tenths between Elias Sauer and Stefano Bettega, and he looks like he's stuck there in P12, so I don't know if that was the right call, but we will see. Carlos Cotao got up a place, overtook Adrian Vigil, who looks like he's out of the race. What happened?
A lot of drivers retiring and already being lapped, so that's unfortunate. I think a lot of them being down to from the spins that we saw early on, but Bettega, he's going to suffer from dirty air. And
I think they were just notifying a driver or something. Oh.
But yeah, just talking about Bettega again. He's 3 tenths behind Sauer. So lovely to see Stefano still having a lot of pace even on the new tires. I'm wondering what he went on. I couldn't see that.
Let's see
But
what's happening.
yeah, suffer from traffic.
I think we should be going there to see what is Betega doing because he's very close to Ilias Tower, but he just looks stuck there behind him. Not anymore. He got
And there he
Ilias.
goes.
Oh, that's a very close battling, and he has gone for the hearts. So Stefano Betega will go till the end with his tires. Is that the right call? Is that the right strategy? Will the undercut work? We will see. But Stefano Betega looks like he's losing more. Shy one into cops, one in touched. Oh, that's Verstappen Hamilton vibes. Stefano Betega just sent his opponent. I think that was Tom Swyers in the wall, and Tom has retired for the race. No, he's in the pit lane, but that was a huge impact.
Yeah,
The stewards, I'm sure, will be looking into that, and we might see a penalty. Just as I was saying that the undercut might not work because of the traffic, now it might just have been better to stay out.
a critical moment for Benfica. This could show to be if he gets a penalty now. He's finding a lot of pace in these hard tires and managing to pull away from some of the faster drivers. As Elias Sauer going faster in the qualifying session on medium tires right now, so he has already changed. But it's going to be exciting to see with 16 laps left. What's it's going to be the faster option? Is it going to be the hard tires lasting a bit longer, but of course having less pace, or is it going to be the mediums? It's gonna show up. As Elias Wunsch is still having an 11-second gap, so he's not clear to pit yet. He's going to be stuck in some kind of track fake if he manages to get out. I would say he's going to be around Elias Strömer if he were to pit right now. Just about. So not a lot of traffic. There's 7 seconds between Elias and Fabio, so he may think about it now. Elias Strömer, did he pit yet? I don't remember if he has already pitted. But I think we're gonna see some of these drivers change to the mediums now. Don't you think?
Stromer has pitted, yes.
Okay, so Stromer has pitted, so that's not something he's gonna. That is something he's gonna be having to worry about as he's thinking about a pit stop, perhaps very
So I
soon.
think-
He is
Important to mention,
halfway into the race.
here that P1 and P2 haven't pitted.
So that's looking at the standings. Elias Schumer is now the effective race leader because looking at the gap, he's still recovering, and Luca Wunsch have not pitted. So Elias Schumer might get in the first place after Luca will pit. Elias Schumer won a place. He overtook Fabio La.
Yeah, it looks like something has happened to Fabio. He's losing a lot of time. That's not just down to pace. But could we see what happened to Fabio? Getting replay here. It seems no, this is live.
Yep, this is
Hunting
live.
down the 3 drivers in front of him: Joe Tabuner, Stromer, and Auger. So this is battle for P2. No, yeah, P2.
Just keep an eye there on the gap between Luca Wunsch and Elias Stromer. That's the gap that we should be watching right now, because that's effectively the battle for the race lead.
It is, but I think he will still be out in front of Elias Stromer if he were to pit right now. That's a 25-second gap between those two, so he may be thinking about it. We'll have a nice gap up to Alex Aguirre when he comes out.
Joe
So,
Taberner very close there.
Have some time to put some good lap times down. But do you think he's going to be putting on the mediums now?
It looks like it, but I think with the gap that he's having, I'm just keeping an eye on the gap between Luca Wunsch and Elias Stromer, and it's getting bigger. So Luca Wunsch looks like he still has a lot of life into the tires, so he might go long and then put the mediums. I do think that's what he's up to right now. Fabio locks up there and goes wide, but that looks like the best strategy for now. But again, we might see a safety car and we might see a lot of madness still, so it's very hard to call right now. But
Yes, we see a move in the back there that is Lazare Dupont, I think. No, I'm looking wrong. That's not those two drivers. I'm not sure who those were. And we were seeing Krishy now. It's up on the rear of Kevin Stam. Krishy, very fast early on. He had the initial lead at some point, didn't he?
Yeah, he was battling for a
Fortunately,
podium
had an incident at Cups, if I'm not mistaken.
He sadly just got into some incidents and lost a lot of time, but he was looking like he's very fast.
Yeah, but,
Now he's
his car
down-
matching his nationality.
Driving
Yeah,
blue
beautiful
for car
livery.
94 because in collision
Yeah,
with car
so not
23.
much you can do with this liveries, but you can make them look quite well, I would say.
Kevin Stam looks like he's driving for Ferrari while actually driving a Mercedes, so that's an
It's
interesting
gone
livery.
for the Ferrari, please, yeah.
Yeah. But very close battling now between Korschuk and Stam. Kevin Stam will try to pen him off as much as he can. He's closing the inside, but I don't think that's the best thing you can do in this section of corners. Wojciech Korschuk down, that's an incident ahead. Yellow flags. Who was into the
That's
incident?
Fabio,
Fabio.
and was it perhaps a backmarker? It seems only one driver losing
I'm
positions there.
gonna go get your replay of that one, guys.
So yes, we got the replay here. That is Fabio. So going into turn 3, that is. And just get punted. He locks up into
So
the
was
corner.
that? I think that was
Was the
DeBoer.
one having contact with him. We figure out who that was. It'll be very interesting to see as Fabio just does manage to keep going. That's it's nice to see.
Elias back into P5. He has gone under the radar, but he have recovered to P5. And remember, he pitted, and Luka Vush didn't. So
Yeah, and as Alexis is pitting now. Alexis Iguia is pitting. So where is he gonna come out? I think he's gonna be down in the midfield somewhere. No, he's exiting the pits now.
if he
Elias Sturmer
gets
getting
out,
past. Jotabner getting past.
if he gets out behind Elias Sauer, that means Elias Sauer is effectively battling for the race lead. Let's see, they're very close. Only 3 tenths between the two drivers.
Luka Wunsch having a very nice gap to P2 now. It's
Oh, there-
28.5 seconds. That's more than enough for a tire change. So he's maybe thinking about it soon. 12 laps left of this race, so he could go on to the mediums and still have great pace for the rest of the race. If he'd been paying attention, he would know that his competition have been driving out for a long time now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see with some of these drivers not having race engineers, how much are they going to look out for the other drivers? How much strategy do they take into account? Of course, you can see that the gap is there, and as he goes into the pits, and he's still
Oh,
going
so
to be. Who's that? In the background going out? That's Joe
That was
Tappaner.
Joe Tabernet. Let's go take a look at that one.
No, it looks like he just fell out a bit too fast. Off Beckett's, yeah.
The
Just
dirty
a
air.
bit too fast.
The dirty air really played a big factor on this one.
And that's a race ruin for Joe.
Luka Wunsch have pitted, and the gap is still very big between the first two drivers. Let's see, what's the gap now?
So on
Luka
average,
Wunsch.
on average at the minute, guys, the pit stops are 28 to 30 seconds.
When there are still 10
Maybe
seconds
each other
between the first two drivers, so the gap is huge. Luka
30
Wunsch,
second pit stop.
Luka Wunsch,
it
new
doesn't show.
tires, new tires, and he still has a 10-second advantage. That's huge.
Although we do see
Yeah, how
Elias
did he
is getting
manage to
stuck
get so
with
much
back
time?
markers right now.
Or do we not have blue flags?
Uh,
We should
there-
have the F1 blue flag rule, don't we?
There very much should be, yes. But we did see him struggle with Stefan and Betega in front of him.
So I'm reading the chat. Manidi Tom has said, "Man, the cold tires after the restart are terrible. Killed myself because of that." I'm not really sure who he actually is, but yeah.
A lot of drivers being caught out by cold tires on the restart.
Yeah, and
That's
also
very
the
unfortunate.
leader.
That's some of the lack of experience I was talking about earlier. I think it really is something that caught out a lot of people.
Alex
we're
Guia
gonna
around
see
the
it
outside.
on our second
that's
race.
beautiful.
next Monday.
Elias pits.
Elias
Stromer.
pits again.
Elias pitting once more.
Oh, so
Isn't
he
interesting? Is his tires already falling off that badly?
is he trying a different strategy?
That's Alex actually goes purple. That's a 10 point. Okay, 11-second gap. Just about 10 laps left of this race. It's possible for Alex to catch up to Luca, but I think it's going to be very tough for him.
5/10 only the first sector. He recovered 5/10 on the first sector. So Alex Eguia looks like he's actually seriously thinking of recovering that gap. Let's see.
And
Well,
Watching
he
Valley
sneaks
of
in under the
P4.
radar, but Kevin Stam into P4 now.
Yeah, lovely drive from Kevin Sam, a Dutch driver, in the beautiful red car up ahead. See if he can hold off these two other drivers. They're all on old mediums at this point. I think maybe Struggle may be on hards. Yeah, it does seem like he is on hards. So let's see if Koshuk on old mediums is going to be able to do anything about that. Getting the best of exit out of Beckett's, but coming down the hanger straight, both with DRS open, that's not going to be any move made into this corner. Let's see as we go to the final chicane. Not just enough, and still decreasing that gap he has, and maybe going for a move into turn one as he pulls out and they're alongside each other. Going into turn one, that's job done. For Kushit, lovely move from our Polish driver, as he is going to be hunting down Kevin Stam now.
Silvio Lazar is also pitting the second time.
Yeah, so do we see a lot of drivers that pitted too early?
I do
and
think
having their tires die already?
Yeah, I do think that a lot of drivers are actually just being careful. It's the first race of the season. You really want to start the season with some points, and I don't think that anyone wants to risk a puncture. And I think that a lot of them are going with caution. So yeah.
Of course, but hard tires for 29 laps, that should be doable. And it should be even less, right? For the first 6 laps, we were pretty much under the safety car for all of this. As Luca Vunic now goes purple, and I think that's a statement to be made with 8 laps left of this race. A 11.5-second gap to Alex Guia. I think going to be very difficult for Alex to catch up to Luca at this point, unless he really manages to find something.
Yeah, but Luca is pushing a little bit too hard. Like, I don't think there is actually any reason to push that hard and to set purple laps right now, because a puncture may appear at any second. So I think he's actually risking. He's also risking a puncture, but he's also risking a mistake. So he's either so confident in the car and in the tires that this is not so hard for him, or he's actually risking a lot.
I think with the pole position and the pace that he's shown throughout this race, he's not too cautious about punctures. Seems like he's one with the car. As what is he on? He's on mediums.
Yeah,
So that's what we were talking about. Having pitted so late in the race, he could go onto the mediums and finish it on those, still with great pace. As P18, who said that's Mateus Drosta with a 27.4.
Yeah, just look at the timing table. He lapped everyone besides the top 6. Incredible.
Incredible drive from our German driver.
What a pace he's having. I still
I think one of the drivers have done most practice in this car, and that just goes to show on track. As Alex is actually pulled a half a second back, almost a second now. What is there anything happening to Luca?
I think
I'm wondering, with such a big gap now, he's still going.
Luca
Perhaps
is
he's just
controlling the
lifting a
pace.
bit.
Yeah.
No need to push with 7 laps left. Completely in control of this race.
The only close battle that we're having right now on the track is between P4 and P5, and there are only 2 tenths between the first 2 drivers. I think we should be watching that. Wojciech Kościuk is very close, and he will try to send one out the inside. Pretty easy move. Kevin Stam loses the place. Wojciech Kościuk up in P4 now.
Yeah, and he's really had a great race, I would say. Managed to recover quite well from his incident early and being P4 now, 7.5 second up to P3. That's gonna be a tough ask as well. Pretty huge gaps between the top 4 drivers. Really, Kevin Stam not looking like he's having any of it. He wants that position back and gets a great exit out of Beckett's. Is he gonna be having enough speed to get a move down into Stowe? I think that is. Doesn't seem like it. He's not close enough, unfortunately.
Purple up from Alex Eguia. He recovered 1 more second, but it's too late. It's a little bit too late for him to think about
He's
recovering
gonna
that.
need more than a second every lap from now on if he wants to do anything about the change in the lead. I hope for a sprint from Luca, perhaps.
Yeah, just a
Wouldn't be
mistake.
too surprised at this point if that was gonna happen. But just talking about Luca, he hasn't been leading all race. He had an incident early on at the restart. Managed to drop down into P7, I think, before he got his car turned around and got going again. But he showed that it was just a mistake from his own side, and it didn't reflect on his race pace whatsoever.
Yep, and I'm just thinking now, is this race going to set the tone for the entire season? Like, are we going to see a season from Luka Wunsch as dominant as this race? Because these first races are always very influential on the course of the season. So, yeah, I'm just thinking about the mental of the drivers when we are seeing someone like Luka winning in a manner this dominant. What are your feelings going into the next races?
Yeah, I think they might take it a bit more serious and put in those extra hours of practice that it takes to take a win away from Luca. That's showing to have great race pace. So I think they're gonna take that with them. Of course, it's still new cars, so not a lot of practice they could have done up until this race. But there's a lot of experience to be taken out of this one. I think a lot of drivers were called out with the cold tires, as I've mentioned a billion times by now. But yeah, something like that. They're gonna take that into account and take that with them until the next race. Learn from it, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking.
Yeah, and then of course we had someone like Benny Feach down into P19 right now, showing great pace in the qualifying session, not being too far behind Luka Wunsch, and of course Elias Sauer, that's P3 right now. He's also had some pretty great pace, I would say. It was pretty unfortunate in the first couple of laps, but he's managed to fall himself back on into P3. So I think if some of the faster drivers could keep a clean race and perhaps keep themselves out of trouble, they're gonna be battling for the race win together with Luka Wunsch.
Yep, I was just reading the chat. Someone said beautiful racing during the race, so thank you for that. My man Elias from being dead last podium. Yes, Elias Power is back into P3. Wow, he has gone a little bit under the radar. What a race by him.
Really, and that's what I'm saying. If he could manage to keep himself out of trouble and have a clean race,
he's out. Something happened.
What's happening to Elias?
Oh, again the commentator
curse. No.
No, he's still in third place. I think he has
that
some
was network issue.
problems.
That was a network issue.
Oh, he's back on the track. Okay. I thought we've cursed him for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, I was getting worried there for a second, but yeah, Elias Sau, he's had immense pace throughout this race, managing to get himself up into P3, and what a drive he's had.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, how would have this race looked if Elias Sauer was out of the incident and if he would just be able to keep there with Luka Wunsch? I do think we would have been up to an incredible battle for the win. This way, we've had a good race, good battling, but yeah, a little bit of a lack of overtakes in the last laps because the gaps are pretty big between everyone.
Yeah, there's of course P11 with half a second as Fabio passes Iso, another fast driver that's been very unfortunate in this race. But yeah, I just think that it's all down to lack of experience. A lot of drivers being caught out. I think if Luka Wunsch didn't have a 30-second gap going into his pit stop, he would have had some traffic coming out and may have played some kind of may have played something.
We see some overtakes there in P10. A battle between Carlos Catao and Silvio Lazar, battling for a points place. Let's see, they are going very close. And I wonder if Silvio Lazar is from Romania because his name sounds very Romanian. I'm also from Romania. He's
French.
He looks French, but his name sounds very Romanian. So that's something to watch. But Carlos Catao gets the place back. Very good battling. Carlos Catao is on the hard tire. Silvio Lazar is on the soft tire. So obviously he has the tire advantage.
Yeah, Qatar going really wide then turn 2. Wondering if he's just letting Silvia pass.
And on the DRS, he will try. He will come back.
He's gonna have a go
Oh,
around.
that's a beautiful move.
In front of Lazar. Wow.
That was a beautiful, beautiful move. That's one to keep and put in the highlights of the race. Beautiful, beautiful move there. But Silvio Lazar will keep very close. And I know he wants the place back. He's on the soft tires. Did Carlos Cotao made that move with the hard tires? Oh, Lord.
It seemed like it has, and perhaps Lazar being on very old soft tires, just not having great pace. I'm not sure how old those softs are. Basically, if we had a graphic for that.
I believe
Unfortunately, it
he's
doesn't
on
seem like
mediums, according to my telemetry. Yes, he is.
Oh, mediums, yes. yes, they're the
Mediums, yeah, but still a great drive from. It's our lovely move. I'm wondering why he let Lazar pass in turn 2, if that was just a mistake, and then showed Lazar that he was not there to play around. He's there to race.
Yep, and the race now, everyone looks calm down. The standings doesn't look like they are going to change till the end of the race. So we are having Luka Wunsch leading the race in a very dominant measure. We've seen him; he was very fast in the qualifying. In the restart, he has done that mistake, and it looked like the race is over for him. He was down in P11 or P12. He lost a lot of time, but there were a lot of incidents into cops. A lot of drivers lost the car. There was also the incident between Stefano Bettega and the lapped car, I think it was, or anyways, when he was recovering from the pit stop, he had an incident and he lost also a lot of time. But Luka Wunsch again, what a race, what a pace.
Yeah, very lucky to be able to capitalize on the mistakes from the drivers into cups that we saw early on, but still showing great pace in this race. It's not all down to luck. And when you have a 15-second lead over P2, so Luka Wunsch really having an amazing race. Quite astonishing performance from the German driver, showing why he's the one rocking the 44 number.
Yeah, someone that has gone under the radar this race is Adrian Vigil. 15th place recover from the grid. He started P23 and he looks like he's going to finish in P8. So what a race by him.
White flag.
So we're going on to the final race, final lap, sorry, together with Luka Wunsch.
This is your last lap.
2 and 3 managing to
white flag.
back up
Last
to
lap.
back mark. Perhaps this is going to be the fastest lap for him. Let's see if he's saved the best for last. and maybe be able to get some slipstream down the Hanger Straight if he's lucky. Looks like he's close enough to be able to do that. Love the speed he's carrying it to Brooklyn's tier. It's just it's an astonishing car, really.
Well, that was incredibly
These
close to the
speeds,
gravel.
it's incredible. Yeah, using all of the track to get out,
I wonder
get around the circuit.
if he's going now for the fastest lap in this last lap, or if he's just wanting to take the car home and take the win. He doesn't look like it because he's going very close to the grass and to the curbs every single corner. No mistakes from the guy. Since that mistake on the restart when he lost the back end with the cold tires, he was on rails. And he's now going through Stowe, close to Vale and Club, and he will now round the last corners. Luka Wunsch, he started from pole position. He's done one single mistake. He was down in P12. He lost a lot of time, but he recovered, and he wins the first race of Anti-Stall V12 Championship. Beautiful race. Not a purple lap in the end, but still Luka Wunsch a win in a very, very dominant measure. Alex Eguia, he started 7th. He will finish 2nd. Beautiful race by him too. Elias Sauer, he lost the front wing at the start, going into the pits, stayed there for around 1 minute, but he's recovering to the podium. This is something to remember.
Yeah, lovely race from Elias Sauer, having an amazing recovery, as well as Kushuk, another driver that we haven't paid a lot of attention to. But up into P4, amazing from the Polish driver, as well as Kevin Stamps out of P6. Is P5 now after having dropped a lot of position. I think he was down into P12 as well as at some point. So a lot of these drivers have been amazing races, really. Great pace, great racecraft throughout all of the race. Yeah, as I've mentioned earlier, a lot of them being caught out by the cold tires, and I think that's very unfortunate for all of them. But it's the name of the game.
Yep.
Being asked who got the fastest lap, it seems like it's going to be Lucas Wunsch with a 1:27.249.
So I think
So,
this is a hat trick. Pole position, race win, and fastest lap. Hat trick for the German driver.
yeah.
What a good race, and that's it. All the cars have
Thank you,
now
everyone. Remember
finished the race,
to
and this is
file in a
it
ticket
for
if you have
the
any complaints
Silverstone
or any
race.
incident that were not investigated.
Yep, everyone is in the pit lane now. So, stick with us, because I think we will have some interviews. I'm not so sure.
Good job, Luca.
I would love to hear from Luca if we could. Great race from him.
Yep,
I'm not sure
just
if he's
trying to
in
get him.
the driver
Well,
chat.
we'll have a manual safety car in future, I think.
Be able to see that one? Or perhaps
Oh,
we could
If the
get
guys
some
blame on
interviews
Kevin,
from one of the
it's all Kevin's
stewards.
fault.
See if we can
Oh.
find.
The race results: Luka Wunsch, winner. Alex Eguia in 2nd place. Elias Sauer 3rd with a beautiful recovery. Wojciech Kościuk in 4th place. Kevin Stam 5th. Stromer 6th. Hannes Schlögl in 7th place. Adrian Vigil in 8th place. Alexandre Dupont in 9th place. And Silvio Lazar in 10th place. So we are now waiting for the true drivers. I would be really looking forward to hear from Elias Sauer with that beautiful recovery. But it doesn't look like they are very much checking their Discord in order to join the interviews room.
Side question, do we even have an interview room? I think we're just used to dragging people.
Someone said beautiful French accent. Well, thank you. Really appreciate it. So let's
Look,
see.
you can do donuts.
Will
It seems like we have a lot of drivers in our race chats.
Yeah, I don't know if they are actually checking their Discord. I know they're actually on the race server, so I don't know how we will get to them, but it will be very interesting.
I think we can definitely sort out a system next time of getting
Yep.
hold of these people. Obviously, there's a few differences.
Because the
Especially-
broadcasting crew would request you to join the Discord for a post-race interview.
Oh, there
New
we go.
series
Okay.
for us, new series for everybody else.
Sorry, the stewards just let a message out on in the race channels for people to join the Discord. So Elias Sauer is actually in the Discord now. If somebody wants to grab him,
Yeah, I don't know.
okay.
I mean, we have Luca Wunsch as well. Could we have an interview with him, please?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna get a hold of him right now.
Who was able to drag him?
I can get him.
I haven't been this excited all day.
Oh, well, hello, Luca.
Hello.
So, you've won the race in a pretty dominant measure. You've had a hat trick, pole position, race win, and also fastest lap. Talk us through your race.
At the start, I was a bit scared about the other guys on mediums because I didn't know their pace on softs. So I just said, be careful with those softs because you might need the fresh mediums at the end to be able to catch them again. And then there was safety car. It was a little bit of carnage, I would say. Also from my side at the start, I spun because I was too hard on throttle. So I really thought, now it's over. They will crash into me. But luckily, they all avoided me, so I could go. I could return to the race. And then I just try to save my softs as long as I can and then go on my mediums.
Yep, you've mentioned the incident that you've had right after the safety car. Did you thought for any seconds that that's race over for you, that you will not be able to recover to the win?
Yeah, I thought it because I didn't know how the tires react to that. I thought that they are completely dead now because of the wheel spin. But luckily it didn't damage them too much, so I could keep on pace.
Well, thank you, Luca. If you have any words to say to the chat or to your other competitors, you are free to do it.
To the other competitors, it was a nice race. Maybe I can help you next time a little bit with the start because also my teammate had a lot of issues with the start. Maybe we can just go into a voice channel next time and I can teach you how to start.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll also have Elias Zauer here in the interviews. Gerard?
Yep, gonna drop him down now.
Okay. Elias, beautiful race. You've recovered from dead last to a podium place. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, it started very chaotic. Yeah, I don't know how to start with this car. I think I need a second clutch, but yeah, it was pretty bad, and I think I hit someone else. Yeah, I'm sorry for him. But I think it was okay. I rode with him per PM. And yeah, the safety car basically saved my race. And yeah, then I spun in the last corner. Yeah, and that's basically it. Then I just drove to the end and yeah, managed the tires.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw a lot of people spinning right after the safety car. Do you think that's down to lack of experience?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The car is very new, and I think everyone has to adapt to it. Yeah, it was my first race with it. I just drove a bit practice, and yeah, let's see how the next races.
Drove a
So.
bit in practice with it, but still got P2 in qualifying.
Yeah, sure.
Great praise
Yeah,
from you both in qualifying and in the race as well. I would say you got into P3, so that's quite an achievement.
Yeah,
Can we
I'm
see
very
you win
happy
the
with
next
it.
race?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one more question for you, Elias. You have been very fast in the qualifying, but you have lost your front wing just right after the start.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what was going through your mind in that moment when you knew you were so fast, but the race was pretty much over for you just before the first turn. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I thought it was okay because the car is new and I still don't know how to start with it. So I thought, yeah, this can happen, and I knew before the start this could happen, so I wasn't surprised, but yeah, a bit disappointed. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, and also good luck in the next races.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, gonna get hold of Alex Aguirre. I'm really sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Yes, we're gonna have another interview with our second place finisher, Alex.
Hello, Alex. You have had a very good race, finishing second, but you have gone a little bit under the radar. So, talk us through your race because we really want to hear from you.
Well, I gambled a little bit with medium tires at the start. It didn't go well with the safety car because they were too cold, as I think half of the grid found. And yeah, apart from that, I was just kind of cruising because I didn't want to spoil my tires, knowing that I will have soft tires at the end. And yeah, it paid off at the end.
Yeah, and you started on the medium tires. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I was thinking in the beginning that, of course, going on the soft tires gives you that extra speed that you need to get onto the pole position, but going for the mediums give you a different strategy that you could go for. Was that what you were thinking when you put on the mediums for the qualifying session?
Yeah, maybe I tried to do a medium qualifying in the practice, and so that it wasn't too bad. I think I was P6 or P7 at the start, and I was hoping to be faster at the end with the red tire, the soft one, but didn't manage to do it. So I don't know.
No, and how were the medium tires holding on? We saw a lot of people actually double pitting, even though that they were going onto the hard tires.
Yeah, from my simulations that I did before the race, the weekend, I managed to do 29 laps on the mediums, and they weren't as bad at the end. So yeah, I took a gamble and tried to also fight for the fastest lap at the end, but I found a lack of grip on 3 or 4. I don't know what corner it is, and couldn't do it. Couldn't match P1's. I forgot the name. Sorry, P1's lap time. So I just backed off like the last five laps and just cruise around.
Yeah, still a great race from you. Only 17 seconds behind Luka Wunsch. Still an amazing achievement, I would say. So congratulations with your P2.
Thank you for the stream and for the race.
Very much welcome. I don't think we're gonna have any more interviews, are we? But the top 3 now, and of course we would go further down the list, but we've heard from the winners, and I think that's what's important.
Absolutely.
So lovely race.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic race, and we do have more races this week as well. On Thursday, we're going to have our Formula Supremes in Assetto Corsa. If you want to join that, just drop into the correct channels in the Discord. And then on Friday and Sunday, we host what we term our iRacing Rookie Series, which is completely free content, so anyone can join. On Fridays, it's the ovals, and on Sundays, it is the road races. So feel free to drop into those as well. It's just a bit of fun, and it's usually really, really entertaining. So
Yeah,
other than
very
that,
competitive as well.
absolutely. Other than that, thank you very much to everyone that joined the race today, and thank you very much to my fellow commentators in the box with me, Edward and Ule. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you too.
Thank you too, and see you guys on the next Friday for the anti-stall oval racing series.